Or we could just wait until somebody in the chat tells us when it's time to click the button.
That might work, but then they might not want to click. They might want to not want to tell us.
Yeah, they might not. Yeah, we could be sitting here for hours yet.
Yeah.
Nobody's told us to press the button yet.
It'll be at 10 o'clock. Someone says, "What's the install time?"
Yeah, or they could just tell us at 7:30, and then we'd be like, "Wait, we're early, what?" Because they want more time.
Yeah. We could come on next week and do it early and go before anybody turns up.
Everybody turns up and is like, "Yeah, we finished an hour ago, guys." Sorry.
Yeah, just watch it on the rerun. We could actually do this show anytime within the week and just put it live at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, just have like one video file.
No, just do a random one during the week.
Have to keep watching. So when we have a day off, we could have a day off on a Monday night and just do it any time in the week.
Welcome to the Monday eModel show on Friday.
Through the magic of time travel, we've done this recorded before and not live studio audience.
We'll just make up the chat that people are chatting. We'll just make it up.
We could just use last week's.
They never know. Just talk about food and cars and things like that.
Yeah, food.
80s TV and food, and that'll keep them going for a little while, isn't it?
These are all solid subjects for discussion.
Oh well, they're here anyway. Everybody's turned up now. The curtains have drawn back and the people staring in the window at us. So good evening, everybody. It's Monday night. It's June now. It's actually June, isn't it?
It was June last week.
It's been June for at least 10 days, I think.
Yeah, it must have been June last week. Yeah, because it's June the 10th. Yeah. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to a Monday night live stream from eModels, eModels.co.uk. It's Ted here, Ted at eModels.co.uk, and Foxx down here.
Hello.
Down there.
Is it my go?
Is it locked on me?
I don't know. Is it locked on me?
It's whether it is or isn't.
It's moving now. Yeah. And Chris. Good evening, Chris.
Good evening. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the internet.
Whatever's going to happen tonight. Usual mayhem and mirth and talking about food, 80s TV, television, cars, and anything else that you want to talk about.
If you really want to talk about model making and stuff, we can.
If you really want to talk about model making, we might slip a few questions in about model making. Send the questions and all the other stuff to ted@emodels.co.uk. But Foxx will do that sort of chat. He'll do his usual Monday night rambles. Over to you, Foxx.
Activate spiel.
3.5 hours.
Get settled for a minute. Yes, if you are watching this and you want to join in, do join in the live chat. We like it when you join in the live chat because that's how we talk to you. We can't talk to you if you're not in the live chat. If you're watching this and you can't see the live chat, click on the little YouTube icon that's down here somewhere, and that will take to the YouTube page where you can join in the typey chat. We'll be giving stickers away later on, and if you want to ask us questions and you'll be in the live chat, it's an easy way to get hold of us. Plus, you can hang out with us. This is your show. You get a chance to talk to us, and we get a chance to just waffle on about food, really. It's the least model making live stream ever, these programs, especially for a model company. But yes, if you want to join in, do ask us questions. Put them in the live chat in big, fat capital letters so we have a chance to see them, because we're very busy being pretty on telly, and it's hard for us to follow the chat because it moves quite fast. Put them in big fat capital letters. If you want to, you can use the super chat option, which is the dollar symbol at the bottom of the chat window. Puts your comment in a big coloured box and gives us a better chance to see it. But if you can't get access to the chat at all, don't panic. You can just send us questions, shout outs and comments through email, and it's ted@emodels.co.uk. That address again is ted.emodels@emodels.co.uk. Ted at.
I could type very, very loudly.
No, that's my job. That's my job. Yes, ted@emodels.co.uk if you get any questions and you haven't got the live chat. But you should be in live chat because that's where all the cool people go.
Yeah. Don't forget, we're not the experts here. So if you're new to this channel and you just dropped in to see us, we don't know everything. In fact, we probably don't know anything. But the rest of the guys in chat they know far more than we'll ever do. Yeah. So,
yes, if we can't answer your question, which is probably likely, someone in chat will. Before we go anywhere, fact for the day.
Fact for the day.
I remembered. On this day in history, in 1977,
Oh, I remember 1977.
Yeah, I remember it was all Indian summers and warmth all the time. Even in the winter, it was an Indian summer. In 1977, on this day, Apple Computer shipped its first Apple II computers. There you go.
Well,
And now the chat will devolve into a monkey poop fight of Apple versus not Apple.
yeah.
In chat.
I wonder how big the first Apple computer was.
Apple IIs were kind of that big.
Were they like
stone and wood and
1977? That was a year after the heat wave, wasn't it? 1976 was a heat wave in the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
And then we never had a heat wave again.
Yeah,
I remember it because we never.
I think we had summer last week. Tuesday it was. That was it.
Chris has fallen over, by the way.
Chris is back. Welcome, Chris.
I noticed because I saw his comment in chat saying, "Have you noticed that I've got?"
Hello, I have returned.
I actually noticed it in the you typing in the chat before you actually vanished off the stream.
To be honest, I never realised he'd gone.
Well, we never look at. We're too busy looking at the camera to even see what everybody else is doing. So,
well, welcome back, Chris.
My internet seemed to fall over. The house's internet died, but I was able to still pick up the phone and message to their chat. So they cared that I was. They didn't notice I was gone either. I don't think.
The thing is, we don't look at the screen, do we? We don't look at each other.
No. I try to avoid that. I shrink the it down very small. So
I've got like a massive chat window and a little tiny bit, which is you guys.
Who's in tonight then? I just saw George Taylor say hello from across the pond, but over to Chris, who will tell us who is in this evening.
I'm just reloading my chat to see that it's working.
Yeah, well,
that stupid live top chat thing again, right? The first one I see isn't the first one that was here, obviously, but Jamie Bone was in. Ickle Pete, one of your mods, Colin at Festa 67's workshop. Swiggin Pig, Timber, Paul de Tomasio, Zadster, didn't say that yet, no. Dad, another one of your mods in.
Yeah, welcome to all the mods. Remember, if you've got a problem or anything, you can always message the mods. They'll look after you in chat tonight.
We've got Robert in, who's changed his name. So it was Robert something. I can't remember what it was, but now it's just Robert. Donald McKenzie's in. Sprugru. Philip Prime, Michael Jackerman, Brian Windmill, Steve, another one that's an easy name to say. It's nice. I like the easy names.
Yeah.
Osric 9000 is in, and Michael Brown, Anders is in, and Dave. Where's the rum gone? Barker is back. Evening all, he says. Evening, Dave. Armour Spartan says ciao from Italy. Ooh. We're going all global, near and far. Philip Buck, can't talk at the moment, eating a late tea. Kebab.
Oh, yeah. Don't forget belly and bench. What's on your belly and what's on your bench?
Yeah. We don't actually care about the bench bit, it's the belly bit.
Yeah, so we don't, Iron Man 129 is in. That's that. I've said all them, said that. Frog Spawn. Haven't seen you before, so welcome. Yeah. Andrew Preston, Graham Presswood, George Taylor, and AJ just popped in down the bottom there, and anyone else who knows me. So.
I think I've caught with it. Yeah.
It's quite busy in the chat tonight, so if we do comment from you, apologies. We will do our best.
I think we should just sit back and let everybody chat amongst themselves. It seems the easy way to do things.
What I love is when we go off on a particular subject, we'll be talking about something, and then we'll suddenly do a handbrake turn and swap onto something else. And the guys and girls in chat will just completely ignore us and carry on talking about whatever, and we're just waffling away to ourselves for 10 minutes.
It's like going along the road, isn't it, in convoy, then you just turn off and the convoy keeps going and you've gone off. Yeah.
We're like talking about, I don't know, how to paint World War II underpants or something, and they're all talking about kebabs.
Speaking of underpants, strange as it may seem, I was looking
Remember where you are, Ted. This is a live show.
I was looking at an item for walking equipment on the internet last night. It was a rucksack. And you know how the internet suggests, and other people also bought this. So there was a rucksack that people had also bought. People who bought this particular rucksack also bought these underpants.
Yeah, well, if you're going walking, you should always pack a spare pair. Yeah,
Yeah,
I understand that.
you know, but that's perhaps all they do wear is just a rucksack and a pair of underpants.
Ah, yeah, you're thinking.
And
At least a pair
boots.
of budgie smugglers, just in case. You never know.
Yeah,
Might get a
yeah,
bit cold.
but I thought it was quite a bit random that to buy a rucksack, people also bought these underpants.
For some reason lately, whenever I'm looking for stuff on Amazon, it's always suggesting. I don't know why, but it's always suggesting in my suggestions. I've got like, I'll be looking for something, and it'll be suggesting, like microphones and camera equipment and model making stuff, and there might be a Gunpla or a Warhammer kit, and then it'll be like, and this Disney mug that looks like a thing from Beauty and the Beast, and it's a cup with a face, and I'm like, what? And it keeps showing me that same mug all the time, and it's like, why? Are you...
Yeah.
Amazon have been buying loads of Disney stuff that I don't know.
And it's strange because it starts to pop up in your Facebook feed as well.
Yeah. Has everyone else had the thing with things that you're talking about, not online, but in the real world, and then they pop up in your Facebook feed and your Amazon feed and stuff?
Yeah,
that's very scary.
You have to watch it. Yeah, a fridge. You might know. Yeah, you just said to the wife, "Oh, I think the fridge is on its way out." Suddenly, pops up on your Facebook feed. Buy a new fridge from Curry's.
Yeah. Well, I think what really freaks me out is when you get Amazon suggestions from stuff you've been surfing, nothing to do with Amazon, and it just seems it's so overreaching. Like I'll be watching stuff on YouTube, like loads of videos about, I don't know, vintage synthesizers, and suddenly Amazon is giving me all this relevant stuff, and I'm like, how do you know? How do you know? I mean, I know you see everything, but
it's very scary.
Yeah.
The thing I don't like about Facebook is when it suggests friends for you.
Yeah,
I can understand that you've got 76 friends in common. Then yes, there's a good chance that they're going to be quite friendly. You're going to like it, But when you've got one friend in common, then that's just somebody else's friend, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's nothing. Why would I? No, don't tell me about one friend in common. That's just
the really scary thing is me and my wife share the same Facebook profile because we've always done that ever since Facebook started, things like that.
I did wonder about that picture of the
Yeah. So you'll often see me discussing knitting and crocheting and sewing and things like that, but. Yeah, when it says suggested friend and this rather buxom lady from some Eastern European place, suggested friends, I don't know her honestly. Yeah, so yeah.
It might not be suggesting it for you. It might be suggesting it for Mrs. Ted.
Could be.
Not the way that
secret life you don't know about.
Not the way that lady looked. No. So yeah, you've got to be careful what you search online. Somebody says Alexa is listening.
Yeah, I was going to read that out, but I've got one just on the shelf there. So if I say that word, it will wake up.
Alexa, what time is it?
Yeah, it won't wake up for you because it's only
headphones in.
See,
darn it. Chris, you're being told off by Vincent at Mr. Let's Model Making, one of our mods. He says, Chris, forgetting about lonely old me, typical.
Well, you weren't in the chat that I was reading out then, but welcome. I did notice I got told off by somebody else as well. But Bobbington was moaning that I didn't mention them either. Yeah. But if they didn't comment in the time span that I was looking at the comments in, then...
yeah, there was 300 people. When Chris logged out and then came back in again, there was 300 people above him. That
got 5 people in. We have some answers to the bench and belly.
Yeah.
First one is Philip Book says, belly gonna get you. Let's have a look. George Tillett says, I've got an hour for lunch, so put all the good stuff up front, please. But the first belly and bench, it seems to be Sergeant Bone says, belly, beef and broccoli with udon noodles. Oh, big fat noodles. And bench, lots of tanks and tank tracks.
Philip Prime says cottage pie and baked beans, followed by strawberry angel delight.
And a cottage pie. What's the difference between a cottage pie and a shepherd's pie?
Lamb and beef.
Shepherd's pie is lamb because that's what shepherds have. Cottage pie is bricks because that's what cottages are made out of.
Yeah. Cottage pie is a small building.
And Williams FW11 still on the bench. I don't know. I assume it's a racing car.
I do need to take Philip Prime to task on the Strawberry Angel Delight because it's utterly not butterscotch.
Or chocolate.
No, it's got to be butterscotch. It's the best thing.
It's Angel Delight is just nothing. It's no.
I love Angel Delight. It's just nonsense. It's great. It's fluffy food. Chancer NW says chicken fillets, potato, dal, and the sweet potato in belly. FX 172nd C47 on the bench.
Do you remember what the NW stands for?
It's not Northwest.
No, it's North
North Wales.
Wales. There we go.
North Wales. There we go.
Brian Windmill says sausage and bread. Nuneville on the bench. I don't know. Is that
What do you make of that?
nothing on the bench, I assume, probably.
Yeah, that might be a typo. Let's have a look. Phil Lewis says belly is now full of homemade shepherd's pie. That's 2 shepherd's pie. Oh, cottage
No,
pie.
the other was a cottage pie. It's different.
Bench is just completed Zvezda 172nd Panther House.
Do you have you caught where we are, Ted?
No.
Okay, we'll just carry on without you then.
I thought I saw that comment before, but now it's gone.
Paul DiTomaso says, while the audio is off from the video, you might want to hit the refresh button, Paul. Make sure you've not got anything else open. It's normally down to something at your end if there's a big syncing issue. You might have a Windows update downloading, or
is it all of us or just me? Because I went offline and came back. I might be glitching, but
could be.
I'm at the bit where it says where Zad sustain a rucksack with built-in underpants.
That's it. That's in the right sort of area. I saw that a minute ago.
I'll find out where we're at then.
Mine just jumped and I can't find it again now.
Speedy Curate says, hello, gentlemen and Fox.
Oh.
Fine. Now we know. Let's just see if you try and win a sticker tonight, then, Mr. Speedy. Just to get my own back, I had an instant coffee before we came on air. Instant coffee from a tin. And
a cup of tea.
That's threatening talk to Spid, that is. Anders Ericsson says, bench still a huge 1/16 scale Panzer IV, interior coming together, belly day. So the usual fruit and coffee and a shrimp salad for lunch. Actually sounds quite nice, that.
Well, that Panzer is going to be on the bench for a long time yet.
Yeah.
Right, the next belly and bench I see down there is Spid saying peppered chicken and strawberry Greek yogurt for pudding. For pudding, maybe. I don't know. For pudding coffee, naturally. It's all they're common in strange places.
I've lost where you are. Where are you?
A bit lower down. Peppered chicken and strawberry Greek yogurt for pudding, coffee, naturally, and still the Tamiya R1M and some printed things on bench.
Oh.
Okay, I've actually lost the place now because my chat just jumped and I've got no idea.
Strawberry Greek yogurt.
There we go.
Model guy's in saying good evening, gentlemen. Evening, model guy.
Good evening.
Let's have a look.
He started the battleship, the New Jersey Special Edition battleship, and he's already encountered problems. Many more to come, I think.
Phil Lewis is saying to you, Ted, I assume, about your friend request or whatever. It says it's all those flesh tones you've been researching. Yeah,
it could be. Yeah, I'll hold my hand up to that. I've been searching the eModels website for flesh. Yeah, just type in flesh on the eModels website. Surprising what pops up. Well, I think it was the eModels website anyway.
Yeah. Foxborn says belly cottage pie. There's another cottage, but there's all these cottage shepherd's pie.
It's Monday night cottage pie night.
It must be, yeah. Belly is cottage pie and bench is Challenger. I'm going to guess tank and not space shuttle, but it could be either.
Yeah, Challenger MBT. Massive big tank.
Massive big tank.
Speed says my memory isn't what it was, and also my memory isn't what it was.
Speedy Curate says no idea. Can't remember. Do I ever win anything on here? So we've got anybody else?
Model officer says lamb, and Zesta says shepherds equals sheep. So yeah, that was back when we were talking about what the difference is between there we go, lamb and beef, and it's jumped again.
Doug clarifies that FW is Frank Williams, owner of the F1 team, when he was talking about doing the F1, whatever it was. Mark Dale says belly and extra strong mint. Is that it? That's a bit minimal. And bench still, unless it's like this big. Bench still staring at an F40, trying to muster the motivation to stick the first 2 bits together.
Go on, go for it. Let us know by the end of this show that you've stuck the first 2 bits together.
Yeah. And make sure it's the right first 2 bits.
Yeah. Colin at Festa 67's workshop says bench Raspberry Pi projects. Did we miss the belly bit, or was there no belly bit?
Didn't do a belly bit. Colin, half an answer.
Is that the mathematical pi?
Yes.
Yes, it's a small programmable computer. For lighting, Ted. For lighting.
All right. I just remember those big algorithm books from school.
Yeah, that's like them. 3.1415927.
Yeah. George Taylor says fruit, cheese, and crackers. Meng 2 new boat inspired by me.
Oh,
fun.
yeah.
Great fun. Very silly little build. Absolutely fun.
Vincent and Mr. Loths, who I didn't forget about and didn't mention. Belly, spaghetti, bench, 148 Hasegawa A6 M5, and some MG Unicorn bits as well. Just spaghetti. There must be some sort of sauce or something with that. You can't just have spaghetti. That'd be boring.
Now, Chris, you've done enough Gunpla now to know what MG means.
Massive Gunpla.
Massive Gunpla unicorn. That's correct.
Could I be right in thinking it's master grade?
Model officer says best for the belly is a hot cross bacon roll. Oh, that's like savoury and sweet at the same time. I like the idea of that.
Hot cross bacon. Is that actually like a hot cross bun that you cut and put bacon in?
Yeah. I'll tell you what I did the other day. I made some fish things, just basically like breaded cod. Bird's eye breaded cod, you stick it in the oven. But to make things interesting, because I like to put herbs and spice on these things, I put some maple syrup on them just to see what happened. Don't put maple syrup on your fish. I put it on the fish and put it in the oven to cook it. Yeah, I don't recommend it.
I started having breakfast at work now, but it's rather posh breakfast. Or one of the dishes that we would like is pancakes, the American pancakes. 3 of them laid with hot cured bacon, covered in maple syrup, with a side serving of compote and yogurt.
Oh,
I don't think I've ever tried maple syrup, even when I was in Canada.
How can you never have maple syrup?
I don't recall. I know golden syrup. I know that one. It's syrup for that, isn't it?
Had maple syrup.
I might have to get some when I go shopping.
The only downside of maple syrup is it comes in a bottle this big, which is useless when you put it in your coffee and on your food.
Then Foxx wonders why he's putting on weight sat at the bench.
Yep. We thought it was just the camera, but it's not.
Yeah. I'm just glad these t-shirts are black because it hides everything.
Yeah. You know the day you're putting on weight when your modelling chair collapses.
Yeah. Yeah. When I put myself suddenly downstairs without planning on it.
So the next version of these shirts are going to have stripes on them. Are they? Is it vertical or horizontal? I can't remember which one.
I think horizontal is definitely not slimming.
I can't see vertical being very slimming either.
Yeah, it makes you look taller.
Yeah.
That's why Chris's shirts are like football umpires in America.
Is that because they're tall?
Yeah, makes you taller.
Handbrake turning the conversation swiftly away from my weight gain. Lord Berkeley III, back to food, obviously. Lord Berkeley III is working on a 40k rhino and now eating ginger biscuits and a brew. Is that coffee brew or a tea brew? I'm going to guess it's a tea brew.
Yeah, I've lost that now. I don't know.
I had to scroll up and down because it jumped.
I'm in the same page as Foxx.
All right, we'll do the next one then while I'm trying to find it.
Remember, is not to press the yellow down, the blue down arrow, because then everything jumps and you lose it. You have to scroll.
Donald McKenzie says 3 egg cheese omelettes and Mobius Iron Man. I'm not a big fan of omelettes. I like eggs.
Oh yeah, I could do an omelette. Yeah,
found it.
How many eggs make a good omelette?
AJ's asking you, Ted, and Foxx, but mainly Ted. How long till the next batch of stickers are dispatched?
All right, yeah, I've got some here. I'll wave them about. I won't show the addresses, but envelopes, stickers. I've got some that have got stamps on, and they'll go out in the post in the morning. I've got some that are awaiting some stickers from eModels that'll just got to wait for some big stickers to arrive. But there's another big batch to go out there, so hopefully it'll be one in that batch. There's quite a few there.
Yay! We have a very important question from Spruglu, who says, "Can you combine cottage pie with shepherd's pie?"
Well, I'm sure you can, but what would you call it?
What do you mix? It's usually minced meat, isn't it? So
It's
what do you
beef and lamb, so it'd be bam or leaf.
No, it wouldn't be leaf. That's not right. No.
It'd be cottards pie. Or
Shepherd's
shepherdage pie. Shepherdage pie. Farmhouse pie. I think we just call it farmhouse pie.
Osric's just received the notification for this stream. Yeah, YouTube notifications seem to be very, very messed up at the moment, even more than normal. I know Spid was saying he got a notification for one of Fox's streams just as it finished, and got a notification for one of my streams like 7 hours after it finished. So yeah, I wouldn't trust that. You know where we're going to be. Come every Monday.
Set your alarm.
Your alarm and be here.
Tell Siri to. It just started Siri. Tell Siri to remind you when it's eModels.
Yeah.
Hey Siri.
Yes, I just said Siri and it started up on.
See, I'm clever enough that none of my devices are voice activated, so you can't do that.
I don't want Siri. Turn it off.
What's it called? Oh yeah, Vincent says that it's his mother's spaghetti sauce recipe that he's having.
Ooh.
That could end up about what's on your belly and what's in the
What's all down your front, yeah.
Dave Barker says belly hot and spicy chicken wings and rice, bench more skeletons for his horny.
Are you feeling better then, Dave?
Yeah, he wasn't very well, but he obviously is now. Can I just tell the audience, the guys in the audience and the people, and that I made? I had a first today. I made chili dogs. I've never made chili dogs before, but I made chili dogs today. I may have accidentally eaten 4 enormous chili dogs, and I have no regrets.
Well, there'll be somebody. Americans are famous for the chili dogs, aren't they? There'll be somebody on here that'll tell you how to make them properly.
And of course, they weren't chili dogs; it was chili dogs. Chili dog. WGS.
Did you put maple syrup on them?
No, but I did. I basically had. It was the enormous bun. It was a tiger. It was like a tiger loaf, but in like hot dog bun shape. So it was a tiger hot dog bun with the enormous sausage, the chilies, and then the cheese on top, the mozzarella on top of it.
Oh,
and I just it was the cheese was on top of the sausage first, and then the chili on top to make it all melt in. It was dead nice.
yeah, because
4 of them, and I'll just.
Frogspawn saying get the maple syrup from Costco, big jug for $10.
We don't have a. Do we have a Costco? No.
Costco over here. Do we?
Oh.
Yeah, but we're near you. You're in the middle of nowhere, aren't you? Up north somewhere.
We don't have shops. We just have a guy that comes around in an old converted ambulance and sells things.
You open your jacket. Nice.
I was just about to say that Frank Burge was on the wrong channel when he said he's in bed with his wife. I was just about to tell him he's in the wrong place, but he says we're making him hungry and he'll wake up the dragon if he gets out of bed to make anything.
Yeah, he says, I really want to make some nachos, but I'll wake the dragon. I hope he's got headphones on because we just said that out loud.
Yeah,
sorry, Frank. Sorry, Mrs. Frank. Maple syrup in coffee sounds good, says Mark Dale. It is. You still put your milk and sugar and stuff in, but just add some maple syrup to it. Oh.
How much? Are you talking same amount as milk? Or
no, oh God, no. That would just be like you just diabetes in a cup. Just a dash of it, just enough to give it a little bit of a flavour, and it adds a kind of, I don't know, almost like a kind of slight chicory flavour to it. It's really nice. Just a little bit of flavour.
I thought you said chickeny flavour. I can say that
adds chicken to the brew.
Yeah, I did think that Jacqueline Stevens. I only ever read half a message, and I don't read the end of it. I thought that Jacqueline Stevens there was going to be really healthy with quiche, new potatoes, and veggies. Then I read the rest of it. It said followed by fudge cheesecake.
I was just looking at that and thinking, oh yes,
yes.
Craig Garrett says, "Love eggs, hate omelette." There's many ways to interpret the first half of that sentence.
yeah. See, that's the problem with just reading half a text.
Yeah.
Spiddy Q8 says Fox's weight gain is nothing at all to do with the vast quantities of Orkney fudge consumed in his fudge. I mean Warhammer stream. Yes, I may have eaten a lot of fudge.
Yeah, I would assume that Mama Fox is probably watching this stream. So, did she get any fudge?
Yeah. For those that don't know, on one of my streams, my stream yesterday, one of my friends sent me a big thing of Orkney fudge. It's really called Fluffy Guts. Lindsay sent me a selection of Orkney fudge, so I ate some of it and gave the rest to Mama Fox. But when I say some, I mean quite a lot.
Yeah, I don't think there's much left in that packet, was there?
No, but there were still 4 or 5 pieces for Mrs. Tilly or whatever she was called, Mrs. Tilly's fudge or something like that.
Now we've got a serious question just before we carry on with food. We've got a serious question here from AJ, who says he's thinking of investing in a drone to film the local countryside. Any suggestions for a decent entry level version? He's flown helicopters, so he does have some basic knowledge of flying things. I've got a drone, but I can't seem to get it off the ground. Well, it gets off the ground and probably crashes down again.
Really? They should be almost self-flying, a lot of the drones now. So.
Yeah.
I would seriously, AJ, if you contact the guys at eModels, they sell drones. And I think Pete's a bit of a wizard on drones and things like that. I'm sure they'll fix you up and tell you what's sort of a good entry level type drone.
Yeah, they are a DJI stockist. I think it's DJI, and they've got a few others. They also have what I've seen was the cutest thing. It's a drone, and it's about that big. It's literally about this big, and it's just.
Yeah, he probably doesn't want that for filming the countryside, though.
That's small.
Do be careful though if you're near an airport or anything, because they have recently changed the laws for flying drones, and they're not allowed to in certain locales.
Yeah. I think you fly them near an airport, you just invoke an airstrike, don't you?
Well, that's why Heathrow was shut down in December, wasn't it, for like 5 days? Is it like a kilometre or 10 kilometres you're not allowed to fly with?
There are maps online as to where you can and whatever. But yeah, they shut it down and then decided that it was actually probably a plastic carrier bag.
Yeah, and depending on where you are in the universe, you may need to actually have a licence as well. Zadster says be aware you need to be licensed to fly. Some places do require you to have a licence.
Yeah, and you can't fly in public places either. So
yeah, watch out for power lines.
No. So there's not a lot of places you can fly them, really.
I don't know what the conversation was about, but Sergeant Bones says, "Dear God, who needs a pancake maker? Just a ladleful in the pan." Yes. I don't know what we're talking about.
I think we've gone to pancakes now. Yeah. Well,
I've converted Mark Dale to the maple syrup in the coffee. He says, "I just put a dash in a fresh cup and can't believe I've never considered it before." I'll change forever. Cheers, Fox.
I've never tried that. I've never tried it.
Now you have to.
We have both items in the cupboard. We have 1 maple syrup, 2 coffee, and 3 a cup.
Tell you what, Ted. If it won't get you in trouble, ask Mrs. Ted if she'll make you a brew and get her to put some maple syrup in and do it live on telly. Try it live on the telly.
She's in there with.
We'll cover for you for 5 minutes. Go and put the kettle on. Go on.
I mean, I could do it, but I'm all the way in, 100 miles away. So
can you just ask Mrs. my Fox to run down and make me a coffee?
Yeah, you can't get it to you.
It'd be cold.
Like it.
Yeah, here's the keys, Mum. Can you go take the coffee?
What we're talking about?
Iron Man 129 has another model making question. It says, "Has anyone got an honest, unbiased opinion on the AK Extreme Metal range? I've not tried them myself, so I don't have an opinion at all."
I haven't used them, but I think you have, Ted, haven't you?
Is that the tubes?
I think so. Is it the oil-based or the wax-based metallics? I think. Aren't they?
I found them all right. They are quite fragile, so if you put them on, they do scratch off. So you need to be sort of conscious where you're putting them, how you're handling it, things like that. They can be overcoated.
Don't climb on your chair, Ted.
Yeah, don't be climbing up into dangerous death places.
Everything's within arm's reach. And
Oh dear.
That pulling my earphone out. I can't find any.
Have you got trousers on as well?
Oh, oops. Yeah. I've got them underpants on that I bought for the rucksack. Yeah, I can't find it, but I did use it in the both the U-boat and the Panzer build. It does go quite well, but just be conscious that it scratches off. So give it a coat of clear coat when it's dried out. But yeah, it's quite good. Nothing difficult about it. It does give a really good shine. There are other sort of alternatives, Mr. Metals and things like that. So of course.
As with any metallic, though, like Ted says, you kind of need to coat them over to protect them. However, if you're putting it on something that's going to be a shelf queen, like Ted's in his U-boat, it's the torpedoes in the U-boat. They're never going to be handled by the human hands. You don't need to put any gloss varnish over any metallic paint. Can alter the metallic finish a little bit. So keep that in mind. They're great fun to use, but if it's something that's never going to be handled, then get the stuff on there, get it painted up, and then make sure you're wearing gloves and just put them. If it's like Ted with his torpedoes, put them in place. You never have to touch them again, so you wouldn't have to actually put protection.
They do work best with a black undercoat, a black base coat. So do that. Yeah. Unfortunately, the AK True Metals, they don't come with any instructions, strangely. So I didn't know what to do with it, so I had to ask around. I can't find them. I didn't know how to use it when it came. It just came in a packet, no instructions or whatever. So to put it on quite thickly, let it dry a little bit, and then just use a soft cloth and buff it up, polish it. That brings out a real good shine on it.
Cool. We have a question from David Wright. He says, which of the Tamiya range of glues would you advise to use to make Wow, let me read that again. It's a very simple answer, but I can't even read the question. Which of the Tamiya range of glues would you advise to make sprue goo? Very easy. Very easy.
As has been answered in chat already. That's the one to use.
Yeah, extra thin. And just make sure the plastic you put in there is polystyrene. So for most model kits, it's just the plastic.
Yeah, just use plastic sprues.
Plastic card or plate is polystyrene. If you're using anything from Bandai kits, check the instructions to make sure the parts and sprues are polystyrene and not ABS or anything else, because they have mixed plastics. So, but it does say in the instructions what the plastic is.
We've got a couple of people being concerned about what you're doing in your background, Fox. Crisibon is worried that you're drying weed. I'm not actually drying illegal pharmaceuticals. They're Death Guard, Warhammer Death Guard. They're on the sprues. Yeah. I've got to take them off. And we didn't do what have you been doing this week, chat? So is that what you've been doing this week?
This week I've been mostly continuing to work on the Sazabi. Master grade Sazabi, which is still in the cleanup and sanding process. It will be for many years to come. And I've been trying to catch up with my Warhammer Conquest stuff. So I'm shifting gears a bit. I'm like 20 issues behind. So I'm going to do a couple of videos this week, catching up a little bit and get them all built up and stuff like that. So yeah, I've been kind of busy.
Chris, have you been doing anything?
I've been doing a bit more of the giant tank, the rat. I've got that far now. Got a couple of guns on the back. We're trying to figure out in chat on one of my videos if they're anti-aircraft guns or machine guns, because they're huge but they're tiny. But we don't know quite what they are because they never actually built the thing anyway. So, yeah, that's been progressing. I've got to do the big turret thing next.
I would probably guess as the big cannon on the main turret is a navy. I read up about it today. It was a spare turret from. It might have been the Scharnhorst, I'm not sure, but they basically had a spare cannon from making a battleship. They had a spare one lying around, so they built. The idea was that they'd stick it on that tank. So if the one that goes on the main turret is a naval cannon, they're probably actually just regular tank guns on the back, I would guess.
Now, when you think of a battleship gun, it's a little bit like an iceberg, because you get the bit that you see on the deck. With the big boomsticks that stick out the front, but there's about 4 or 5 decks worth of lifts and things below it. So you think sort of 5 levels of 6-8 feet of shaft with all the ammunition comes up. So it's going to be a huge tank to supply all
that. David Wright says, "Fact of the day, please, Mr. Fox." We did that at the start.
No, we did that.
Yeah.
This day in 1977, Apple Computers released the Apple II. And Anders Ericsson says, beginner's question, what do you use sprue goo for?
Well, filling holes. Sort of, yeah. If you need to fill holes and seams.
When there's not enough plastic in your plastic kit, it's plastic.
Yeah. I've got some in there. Once again, I can't find it. Yeah, it's
Not prepared, are you, Ted?
yeah, it's an ideal filling medium because being plastic, it will fill your plastic and become the same density as the rest of your model. So you can file it down easy enough. Sort of does what it says on the tin. Fills.
It's basically an alternative to fillers and putties and things. If you've got small gaps and little things you want to fill in, it's just a lot easier to go dob and then let it dry, and then you can sand it. The difference between the fillers is it's one of the few things you can sand and scribe, because basically it's glue and polystyrene, and when the glue goes away and dries out, you're just left with polystyrene. So you're filling gaps with plastic, and it can be scribed and everything else. It's just a real quick, cheap way of doing quick filling. If you get little tiny gaps, just put it on, sand it back, done.
Yeah. Zedster says sprue glue is used as a filler, to which sprue glue says, "No, I'm not Zedster. How dare you?"
Stuart Hislop mentioned figures on the back of my bench. What they are? These are the Tamiya British Infantry, which I've had. I've been making for my Matador truck day. I'll see if I can get him into focus. Hang on, where's my focus thingy? A nice little kit from Tamiya. Nice figures. They're all sculpts, but they're still pretty good. So will it come into focus? I don't know that one.
Press the button now. Oh, you almost had it. Oh.
Right. Yeah, there he is.
Yeah, but you keep talking now. The people can't see it.
I'll look it on me.
I thought we'd already done that.
There we go. Yeah, I just painted them up for the little dial. What I'm doing with these time, I've built these figures many years ago. Get the other one.
That's better, Ted. You're out of focus now. It's fine.
I'm out of focus. I built these figures many years ago. Not these actual ones, but I built them years ago. And I'm adding little bits to them. Like,
is that a GoPro he's got on his back?
Yeah, it's a GoPro. It needs to see where he's show his mates on the Facebook what he's been up to. But I've been adding like chin straps and rifle slings, all a little bit. It look a bit shiny there, but I assure you they're not shiny. They are matte. I've still got to do some work on his eyes.
Is that actually an enamel tin mug on his back?
No, it does come in the kit. It comes on the sprue. It is meant to be an enamel mug.
Well, then I have to say, Ted, given the fact that I'm watching this in a little tiny screen about this big in like 480p, the fact that I looked at it and thought that's an enamel tin mug means you painted it really well. You've got it with the little black scratches on the bottom. It's just...
I've really enjoyed building it. There's a third one. I've really enjoyed building these little figures, and they're quite nice. They do look quite good when you're not right close to them.
I have to say though, Ted, is there not a pointing officer?
No, not in this.
No,
because they're not German or Japanese. I'll get the focus. I'll go back into focus. Yeah, if it was German, if they were German or Japanese, they would be pointing. Oh yeah, but yeah, there's no officer in them either. I think the highest ranking is a sergeant.
No. Vincent does tell me that they are anti-aircraft turrets from a turret design, the Panther tank that never made it beyond the blueprint. So yeah, someone was right in one of my comments. So, yeah. Thank you for that.
Question from Frank Burge. I'm going to guess for me. It says, for Bandai kits, do you put together the kit and then dismantle it for painting, or do you organise the parts and paint before? I was told putting it together first was the way to go. It depends what it is. If it's a Star Wars kit, you can assemble it and then paint it. I tend to, with any model, it's a good idea to work in sub-assemblies. If you can build the whole thing in one go and then paint it like it's a tank, then that's absolutely fine. But keep in mind when you're building it, that some things you'll need to have separate to get around to paint. So I would say basically build as much as you can without making some things then unpaintable. With Gunpla, it's a bit different because you can you can either paint them all before you can paint all the bits off the sprues and get them on sticks and paint them and then assemble it all if you want to, or you can assemble the inner frame and paint that. It's absolutely up to you. But I would say just stick to sub-assemblies with any kit. Go for sub-assemblies, get the model built up into as many chunks as you can that are all assembled and ready, because then it just speeds up your painting time. Also, you're not having to paint loads of things, get them off the sprue, put them together and clean them all up because you've chipped all the paint off trying to build them. So just try and pre-build as much as possible with any kind of model.
Yeah.
Barry Models is in saying, hi everyone, late, and I don't have a note from me mum.
Cool.
Yeah, well, you can bring in a note next week. Yeah, but don't forget, bring it next week. Michael Jackman, yes, I've got your email. I've just had a look at it. I'll sort that.
Just to follow up with Anders' question about sprue glue as well, if you want to really know, just go onto YouTube and look up sprue glue or sprue goo. There's tons of videos on there showing you how to make it and what it is. Dead useful sprue glue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's easy to make.
Yep.
Right, yeah, I've had a look at your email, Michael. I'll sort of give it a more in-depth look at it and answer it later on. So,
that's it then. Right.
Right, yeah.
Thanks for coming. See you all next week.
Sprue Glue says one for Foxx probably. And will you be purchasing the new Xbox? Is there a new Xbox?
They've announced Project Scarlet, which is the Xbox will come out next holiday season.
They have operational names for them now.
Oh yeah, they always have.
Holiday 2020, which means some point next autumn or winter, like November time, probably. They say it's going to be four times as powerful as the Xbox One X.
Yeah.
And that's all we've got basically at the moment. It sounds kind of exactly the same setup as the PS5.
Yeah, it's meant to load games much quicker because of some hard drive, solid state drive thing. 40 times faster loading. It's just the same but a bit quicker. It
sounds like they're using an SSD inside as operational memory. Whether they're going to have a regular mechanical hard drive as well, I don't know, or just an SD hard drive separate. But yeah, basically PS5 and the new Xbox, they're going to be very similar in how they actually work. But they did say it will be 4 times as powerful as the Xbox One X. And that sounds pretty good.
So I can say what the next must-have for next Christmas is going to be then.
I don't know though, because it's not like I've got 500 or 600 quid sitting around.
Yeah, but maybe not for you. But by the time they release it, and then it'll be in the stores for Christmas, then it'll sell out and there'll be a great demand and people will be selling them on the...
Oh, yeah, definitely. If you can buy one, buy 2 and sell one, and you make back your money for the one you bought.
Yeah. However, Zazda makes a good point. He says 4 times more powerful, yet the games will still play like the old ones. Yeah.
Yeah, they're talking about increased frame rates and things like that. It's like, I don't think I can see that.
Well, the thing is, because it'll have more... If it's got a vastly more powerful CPU... it might allow for some interesting gameplay that we can't yet do. The problem with most of the consoles now is it's just a CPU bottleneck. You can't really get more complex AI and everything else because there's just not enough processing power. The graphics look nice, but games now aren't really much more advanced than they were 10 years ago when the Xbox 360 was out or the PS3.
So does that mean on the rare occasion when I do pick up a shoot 'em up game, I'll just be killed 4 times faster?
Yeah, pretty much. But it'll look fantastic. It remains to be seen. They showed a trailer for the Halo Infinite game, which will come out as a launch title, and that was just a trailer. It didn't show us anything.
I didn't see that one. Didn't catch that.
It was like, okay. It didn't look particularly next gen, but it'll be interesting to see if they've got massively more CPU power. How developers, what innovations they come up with this new more powerful. If it's all just processing power pushed towards the graphics, then yeah, gameplay's not going to change because we need vastly more powerful CPUs to process AI and pathing and physics and things like that. So that's what we need, as well as spanky graphics. I don't really care about 8K graphics, 120 frames a second. 4K is quite nice, but yeah, we'll see. I'll say I'm not going to get one next autumn because I have a 500 quid spare. I want one, but I won't get one.
I did see the Microsoft Flight Simulator is coming back though. That did intrigue me. I liked that back in the day.
It's not been on console before, has it?
No, never been on console before. It's on PC and console this time around.
I used to have Microsoft Flight Simulator on the PC.
Yep.
That was quite good.
Well, apparently now it's going to use actual satellite imagery data and everything else to recreate the terrain and cities and stuff. So it's be quite interesting.
Yeah, there's a video of trailery thing of it around, and some of it just looks real. It could be someone looking out of a plane window,
Yep.
and some of it is not quite right. Some of it doesn't seem to have quite the right, I don't know, weight behind some of the planes, and things aren't quite normal.
But
And you can tell it's real, it's fake, but some of it you just can't.
But I have to say though, Chris, given that you and I both have a HOTAS stick for Elite Dangerous, I mean, I know it's not like having a real complicated set of pedals and everything else, but
No, but it's
still a HOTAS stick. Well, it's not a yoke though, is it? It's a HOTAS stick.
Yeah, I had the yoke and the pedals and everything for my flight sim, but I think there was a fault for mine because mine. I think the sound was stuck on terrain, pull up, terrain, pull up. That's as far as it got.
Yeah.
Right. What else?
Spriggloo says apparently the new Xbox has a built-in coffee percolator.
Oh yeah, that'd be nice.
Don't know about that.
I doubt it. Let's have a look. Have we started a console? A console PC or PS?
I don't know about starting. I think it's been going for a long time, hasn't it?
Not had a war in the chat yet.
Well, I'm old school. Have PC games improved, or is everybody gone on to consoles now? Then,
PC is more powerful than current consoles, but there are bajillion more people on console than there are on PC.
Yeah, PC needs a bit more tweaking and things to get things working properly.
Yeah,
a little bit more hands-on.
It's just a different place to play. I'm a console gamer purely because my PC is video editing and work. I don't use it for gaming. I'd much rather use my console.
I always found the difficult part with the PC was when you were playing it, you had to press button P and you had to P. All right, press button S. Oh, hang on a minute. There it is. So yeah.
For me, it was always just a case of I'd much rather just plonk the game in and play it than have to set it up and install and do all the bits and bobs and figure out what's compatible with this and that. I'd just rather just play on a console. Pop it in, get the game going there. I've always been a console gamer. Yeah. Well, consoles they're not dead. They're going.
Yeah. I think the last time I played a game on it was Silent Hunter when I was building the U-boat.
Wow. Oh no, that's only a few years old. That game.
Yeah, it just takes so long to play it.
Zadster says PC CPUs have basically gone down the route of power efficiency, not execution speed. I remember, 15 years ago when I was into PCs and built PCs and things like that. Every 18 months, the price stayed the same, the power doubled, and the storage space doubled every 18 months without fail. But that seems to have leveled off now. They don't get much better, but as they're saying, they get more power efficient. And yeah, there's a limit to how small they can make things before things go hideously wrong. There's talking about quantum tunneling, and it's a bit of now.
Philip Book says a good PC gaming will always dump on a console, which is true. There'll always be more. Well, they weren't always. Don't forget, at one point, Xbox. When the original Xbox came out, that was more powerful than gaming PCs of its day, early 2000s. But you wouldn't realize it, but the original Xbox was more powerful than a typical gaming PC. But it comes and goes. It depends what you want.
Yeah. Was it PlayStation 2s that people were putting in server farms because it was cheaper to buy the console than to buy the
PlayStation 3? With the cell. But it's just for me, it's just a convenience. I just stick the game in and play it. There you go. It's quite good. But PCs are more powerful. But then again, you're upgrading them every couple of years. I can get 5 or 6 years out of a console. So it's horses for course. Depends what you want. I've never been a big PC gamer because I say mine's for work and video editing. So I don't want to sort of risk breaking it because I would break it.
Philip Buck's got the right idea. He says, I'm a gamer. I don't care what platform it's on. It's the games that count. Yeah. Absolutely.
Anyway, before it devolves into a format war in the chat.
That's fine. Yeah, well, we just guide the chat along. The chat goes where it.
We just set them up and then let you loose and cage for it.
Oh, right. Cloud-based gaming has got to be the next thing, says Frogspawn. Whatever that is.
Cloud-based gaming in clouds.
Right. Flight simulators, that sort of thing. How is the X-Wing going, says Stuart Hislop? It's over to Foxx.
I've only had the first 3 issues so far, so that's sitting in a box at the minute, waiting for the next 3, I guess.
Yeah, the online account thing when I checked this morning, said that my first 2 issues had been sent, and obviously I've received and been built. It said issues 3 and 4 are out of stock.
Hooray!
A little bit worrying because they're not actually out yet. But someone did contact them in one of the groups I'm in, and they said, "Yeah, it doesn't really mean they're out of stock. It just means we're getting set up to ready to send them out to you. We haven't got them, so they're technically out of stock, but they've never been in stock yet. But we're expecting them in the next few days. So with any luck." I don't know about, say, Foxx is on a different schedule to everybody else. But, issues 3 and 4 should be arriving with me hopefully next week sometime. So I expect Foxx will be getting, I don't know, are we getting just 4 or 4 and 5 a week later? Or we'll find out.
They're just treating Foxx like everybody else. They're not sending him en masse the whole thing.
Well, they sent him 3, and the rest of us only got 2. So
So I don't know how. I mean, the difficulty is I can't because I'm not. Because they're just sending them to me. I'm not actually a subscriber, so I can't go into my account, my DAgostini account, and check and see because there isn't one. So, and when I did get the first 3 issues, they didn't come from DAgostini. They come from a company down south that does packaging, company that makes boxes and bubble wrap. And I'm like, well, I've got a package from Bob Smith's packaging company, and it was like, oh, it's the X-Wing stuff. That's weird. So I don't know. I'll see what turns up. But yeah, I got issues 1, 2, and 3 bizarrely before. Got 3 before everybody else, which is weird.
An update from Mark Dale. He's glued those 2 bits together.
Yes,
yes, well done.
He says first 2 bits stuck together board now.
Yeah, you sit looking at the parts. Do you folks actually consciously start a model, or does it just seem to start on its own when you're looking in the box? Do you actually get a bit out and think, right, I'm going to start now? Because what happens to me when I'm starting a model is that I'll get the box and I'll put it on the bench and I'll look at it and I'll sort of go through all the sprues and check them out. And then I might take a bit off and just try it. Oh, yeah, that goes together all right. Oh, well, I might as well glue that together. And then you glue it together and, well, that bit will go on there. And then before you know it, you've actually started it without really knowing you've started it. Or do you make a conscious effort? Do you consciously start your model?
Usually I'm too excited. I'm just ripping things out the box and going, oh, I'm building it. I'm just done paint because I just want to get to the painty bit. So I just get the build out of the way as quick as possible, mate.
Yeah.
I tend to, if I'm going to be building something, then I'll make a start and just sit down and build it. So.
It's like I've said before, I'm definitely not a builder. I'm a painter. So to me, the building part is the boring, tedious bit that I wanted to get out of the way. So I'll be like, I might sit there for a while, look at it, and go. If it's something I really want to build, I'll be like, but then I'll be like, right, let's do it, and I'm going to just get it done quickly as I can, basically.
Yeah, you don't set a date then or whatever. Right, tonight when I got the bench, I'm going to get that model out. I'll put it on my bench and I'll cut a piece off and I'll stick it together and I'll start it. I'll start in section 1. Sometimes I don't even have the instructions open. I'll just find 2 bits and I'll.
And then you'll put them together and think, actually, they don't go together at all.
Yeah, I should have put them 2 together and glued them because that bit
part C needs to go in the middle.
Chance North Wales says, I pre-plan a build as I'm building the previous project. The start is very conscious and focused as I photograph everything. Yeah, if you're recording the build, yes, then you do need to be sort of planning it and doing the logistics and the cat herding.
Yeah. Did you miss the one a couple above that from Sprue Glue, Foxx?
Clearly, what was it?
He said they're going to send you 6 episodes because they know.
Oh, it sent me 6 issues.
Yes,
I order.
Perhaps they're listening with Siri. They know
might be it as well, yeah.
But for those who don't know, because I'm filming the build on my channel, the first episode is, of course, episode 7. So I've got around that.
What did I see? I saw something. There it was. Frogspawn has got a question. He says, out good on telly. To which Sprue Glue says, yes, Frog, the eModels live stream.
Yeah.
Some people out there have us on telly. They turn the telly off when they put the eModels live stream on. I know Pete does.
Well, when he who must be obeyed, Pete, mate, our Lord and Saviour, watches it on the big 500-inch telly in his kitchen. Being Foxx and 540 HD must be frightening.
Yeah, terrifying at the side of a block of flats.
Mm.
Well, in reality, of course, the answer is there's never anything good on telly. Don't bother.
Well, Frogspawn says, no, I meant in general. Now Chernobyl has finished, and so is Killing Eve Season 2. I didn't watch any of them.
You got to watch Chernobyl. Is good.
Chernobyl, I've been told, is very good.
Chernobyl
I
is
think you by yourself.
excellent. Chernobyl is excellent. I don't know about Killing Eve. Don't know what that is.
I think it's the first one.
Frogspawn says he has us on telly and he chats on laptop. It's a good arrangement.
How big's the telly? How big are we? If we get really close to the cameras, it's good.
Point.
How big's my finger?
No, not that finger. Says, yeah, across all three of my flight sim monitors.
Oh no!
Up to one of us in on each. It'd be like a conference call. That'd be great.
Yeah, you could zoom the bit in at the bottom in, couldn't you? See, how three massive screens, but you'd never see the person talking. A few people are saying that Chernobyl was very good. Apparently, the Russians are remaking Chernobyl because they didn't like it. They're remaking their own version, but in their version, there's an American spy involved or something. Because apparently the Russian propaganda machine, and there's some like conspiracy theory that there was an American terrorist or spy that would
blow up, and there was no problem ever.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, they're having to go at the Americans. That's fine. It doesn't involve us, mate. Frogspawn says dancing phalanges.
Dear.
Right, somebody mentioned what's in store, so should we?
Michael Jackman says whiz time.
Yeah, so is that now then? We had this discussion before. Whose what's in store is it? Is it Fox's or is it mine?
I know it's not mine. I did mine last week, so I know it wasn't my fault.
I know it's not mine because I haven't done it.
Actually, yes, it was Fox's turn. Off you go, Fox.
Oh, many things. Thanks. Bye.
Just have a look on the eModels website and tell us what the link is. Yeah. Anyway, whoever it was, it's mine tonight. So yeah. That means it's Fox's next week.
Yeah.
And he missed a great opportunity this week as well for a great link to something specific that happened in the world. So yeah. So we'll do the what's in store in a moment, but usual rules apply. If you want to take part for a sticker, we do have some stickers. I do have some stickers, but they're all in envelopes.
I got a big sticker.
Hang on.
It's a big sticker in it. Big sticker.
Big sticker. There you go.
Yeah, big sticker. On that note, stickers were in envelopes, and I couldn't remember who'd won what, whether it was a big sticker or a little sticker. So, yeah, when you get an envelope, it'll be
mystery sticker time.
That's what the inbox is for, Ted.
Yeah. As I said before, I only read half a message, so I just read the address. I don't read what they won. And
if you win the sticker to keep Ted happy, in the title of the email, put down big sticker or small sticker, whichever one you won.
Yeah, and you might still get two stickers.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Mark Dale says, "Yay! What's in store? Bankruptcy corner."
I haven't sorted out what the third item is either.
We never arrange it deliberately. It's only what happens to fall into the third slot, isn't it? You know.
Just very quickly, Frogspawn says he didn't get his mug from a few weeks ago. We didn't send those out. We just send your details to the guys at eModels and they send them out.
Is that the email that we got before? But somebody reminded us that they hadn't got the.
If you've not received one after a few weeks, it may be that it's just been sent out and disappeared in the post. Just let us know. Drop us another email and we can forward it on to the guys again.
Do let us know what your name is on the chat though, because otherwise we get confused.
Yeah.
Normally they'll send it out within a few days.
Sometimes, especially if you're at the other side of the pond, it seems that sending mugs to the other side of the pond, they sort of hang around in the US postal system for months.
Did you say that especially because it's Frogspawn and pond? And frogs and ponds.
I see what you did there. Yeah, if you've not received it, you can always drop us with the mail. We can send it back on. But we don't send those out. It's the guys at eModels that do.
It's Andrew Leary in Derby. I'm not.
Right. Yeah, pop us another email. We'll whiz it back over for you.
So it might be a case that when you're requests in for a mug to get sent out, they might have sold out. They might not have any left in stock, so there could be a back order waiting for them.
If they do run out of stock, by the way, don't panic. They'll just keep your email to one side and then they'll send them out when they come back in.
Yeah. Anders Ericsson, yeah, the door is still available. I saw it on the website today. Right. Excuse me, clear my throat. Right, here we go. We're going to do some for the big sticker for what's in store. What you've got to do is to guess this week's tenuous link, and you can win a big sticker like the one that Foxx is showing you, the big one like that.
Mm-hmm.
And all you have to do is decide what the link is, what links all the what's in store together, and wait until we say go at the end.
Foxx didn't do his click and drag thing.
Yeah, you got to click and drag. Now's the time while I'm waffling on to click and drag. Just make sure you're up to date with us. You're watching us live.
Yeah. Just because people won't know what click and drag means. I can see them there going click and drag.
Doing the action as well, isn't it?
Because there's a delay between the video and the chat by now, and we go off the first person to get the answer right. Make sure to refresh your browser, press the refresh button right now, and then drag the slider across to make sure you're up to date.
And by the time we get to the end of the what's in store, you should have all caught up, and then we can have a go answering. Now, remember, if you answer before we've said go, your answer will be entered, and may be charged. But you will not take part in the draw.
We'll ignore you, basically.
Yeah. Remember, if you type the right answer in before we say go, somebody could say, yeah, that's the answer, and pinch it and win. So,
and don't forget, of course, I've just forgot what I was going to say. Oh, no.
Is to type it in before Ted says go, and then as soon as he says go, press the button.
Yeah.
Don't waste time typing it afterwards.
And remember, it's the first one we see on our chat. Your computer is specific to yourself, so it will appear in your chat first, but with the one that's in our chat that we count.
If we keep talking amongst ourselves, then Foxx will forget what it was he just remembered that he wants to talk about.
Well, I was just about to say, just because you're first in your chat doesn't necessarily mean you're first in the actual proper chat. The chat that you would see if you came back and watched the stream tomorrow with the chat down the side. We go off, that's the YouTube version. So don't assume that you're first in your chat, that you're actually first in the overall chat.
Yeah, and after all, it's only a sticker.
Yeah, it's only a sticker. Next time you order something, you can say, send me a big sticker.
Yeah, that's it. When you put an order into eModels, just say, please include a sticker, and they'll stick one in the box. They might stick one. Right, right, I'll lock it on me, and then I'll try and remember how to do this.
Oh, God. I may accidentally have to just turn my microphone off for a minute.
Yeah, if we disappear and don't come back, never mind. No, I forgot that.
And Nevbo model making is in. Sorry I'm late. Have I missed anything? Yes, all the things.
You're only halfway through. It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, have I gone? No, I'm there. I can't. I told you there's something wrong with this computer. Hang on. Let's show them that.
Green square button.
Let's yes, hang on. Right, I'll lock it on me and I'll share the screen and then we'll sort it out.
I thought you already locked it on you. If you lock it on you twice, that'll be unlocking it from you, isn't it?
Right, I'll share and then I'll try and get this thing open. There we go. Right, can we see that?
Yep.
Right, we should be seeing the Airfix 1/72 Golden Hind. It's a vintage classic series. This was it Sir Francis Drake and the Golden Hind?
It was Drake, I think. Yes, I think.
Sounds right.
Return momentarily.
Yeah, this is one of the classic kits from Airfix, 26 and 69. You'll also see now on the eModels website, if we didn't catch it last week when we mentioned it, you can now Amazon Pay, where if you're logged into Amazon like everybody is, all your details will be filled in. Is that how it goes, isn't it, Foxx? If Amazon Pay?
Foxx has gone, but yes.
Right. Oh, has he gone? Oh, he sneaked out.
We have an empty chair down there. I don't know what happened to him. He said he did just have to mute. He didn't say he'd have to run away, but yeah, there we go.
All right. As long as he's turned it, I guess he'll know where he's gone. So as long as
he's gone to make a coffee. No, he won't.
Yeah. I don't know if I've actually built this one in the past. I know I built a sailing ship many, many years ago, and this will be probably the same one. This is the vintage series.
Esther says, I think I made this 500,000 years ago.
Yeah,
So.
it's probably the same mouldings that you and I made from the kit that you and I made, Zadster. Yeah, they call it a vintage classic, Golden Hind. That's not. I don't know anything. My history's not that good to know anything about Sir Francis Drake and the Golden Hind.
Mark Dale does say, does it fit in a bottle? And Zadster says it's 1/72, so it'd have to be a really big bottle.
Yeah,
there will be a bottle in which it fits.
It's huge, though, isn't it? 1/72 for a big sailing ship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, quite nice. Quite cool.
That big. I don't think the Golden Hind was that big. Those old galleon sizes weren't massive.
Well, no, but yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I picked this one, the Golden Hind, Airfix 1/72 Vintage Classic Series at 26.69.
Or as we like to call it, the Big Golden Butt.
Yeah, big butt.
Big I like big boats, and I cannot lie.
Right, well, have a look at the next one, and Bobby, and the next one, you probably already guessed what the link is, but this is the Master Box Normandy 135th US Rangers from June 6, 1944. So
I think the chap on the third from the left actually stood in something, and he's like, get off.
I think all of them are going to be interesting to try and have standing up, because they're all standing on 1 foot.
They're all hopping along the beach. Master Box. I built some figures from Master Box for the Tamiya desert diorama that I did. Master Box figures are excellent figures. Great sculpts, nice mouldings, nice and clean. They go together well. For £6.75, you'll find 4 figures in this box.
Mm-hmm. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but don't Master Box actually specialise in figures?
Well, I think we do, but certainly the set that I built of. The guy on the left appears to be carrying a set of wrapped up blanks. Maybe there's a present in there for
could be Christmas present.
Yeah, could be.
We can assume, I suppose, that's either he's still got the waterproofing on his rifle, or he's carrying some Bangalores, maybe, or something.
It's something like that, or a present. I like to think he's carrying a present.
Yeah, it's an umbrella.
So £6.75. To Master Box US Rangers.
It could be a hot shot volley gun, if thinking Warhammer shape, with a cover on it.
Right, the next one. Now, the Tamiya. If you had to do some figures, you've got to build the Tamiya figures, and as we know, there's always somebody pointing.
Yeah, he's obviously the officer.
Yeah. There's an officer included in his kit because he's pointing, and three very grumpy-looking guys on small motorcycles. I came all the way to Normandy, and they gave me this.
Well, yeah, he's thinking, hang on, the Americans get a glider with jeeps, and we get these poxy little chicken chasers. That's not right.
Yeah. And his boss is telling him, look, you're already going the wrong way.
Yeah, you want to go that way.
You want to go that way, mate.
Yeah, I've just rode 200 miles on this, and you told me I've come the wrong way.
Go back over there and get the rest of your bike.
I think this is more inclined to be building the small motorcycle rather than the paratroopers. But once again, with Tamiya, excellently detailed. I would have thought that the painting, whoever painted these figures, could have done a little bit better.
Yeah, it's like I've joked before, when you're a kid and you go through the Tamiya catalogue, you look in awe at all the paint jobs on the models and think, I'll never be able to do that. And then later in life, you look through a Tamiya catalogue and you're like, dear God, I wouldn't do it that bad.
Mark Dale says, Mrs. D will be delighted, especially as it's her birthday this week.
Oh, yeah,
it's the third item, so he's going
to... only £14.39. Yeah. Don't forget as well, this weekend it's Father's Day. So anything you see in what's in store, you could leave your internet browser open with this particular item. Anything from what's in store, you can leave your browser open and people might get A hint of something to buy you for Father's Day.
Don't forget, of course, while Ted's on that subject, if you are tickled by any of these things that you see today and you want to pick them up, get them in your basket right away. What do they do, Ted?
Slap it in your basket.
Yes, add distortion if you can. It's always a good option. But you get it in your basket and get it checked out as quick as you can, because we don't know how many of these we've got in stock, and if everybody else has the same idea, it's not yours till you've paid for it. So there might only be one in stock. We don't know. There could be 1,000 or one. We have no way to know. So don't sit around on it. Get it in your basket.
Slap it in your basket.
Slap it in your basket.
Not yours till you check it out.
Yeah.
All right. And the next one is what's in store. It's the 1/72 Curtis Tomahawk. I included a starter set because a few weeks ago, somebody will remember that we all built a starter kit, and what fun we had.
I think our generation, it was always a red arrow. I mean, yeah, we always a red arrow. Yeah.
So, £7.19, and you get everything you see on the screen: the paint, the glue, the brushes, the kit, and you can make a pretty damn good model out of it. Just take your time, pinch some things out the wife's sewing box, and away you go. You'll end up with a fantastic kit.
Also, shark mouth. I mean, come on.
It's got a shark eye as well.
Even if it was the worst kit in the world and it was made out of bits of stone and rock and bits of twig, you'd still make it, and it'd be awesome because of shark mouth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the 1/72 Curtis Tomahawk. Set includes acrylic paintbrushes and poly cement. What more could you want? Yeah. The next one.
Pause for effect.
The next one is the Italeri 1/72 Horsa. That's
I see you're liking the new menus, Ted.
Yeah. We've had to. For those that don't know, by the way, just to remind everybody, there's a whole brand new website that's much more faster and funkier and awesomeness.
Yeah.
And we've still not figured out menu discipline on the new menus.
The menu's much bigger than it used to be.
Yeah. It brings it down really fast. Brings the menu down really fast now.
It's all new servers, so it should be blindingly fast when you're buying things.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure to go and buy lots of things just to test out the new website. It's the best way to test it.
I think this week's what's in store is probably going to be pretty easy. There's the Italeri. It's got British paratroops with this.
I assume they're not to scale.
Yeah, I hope they're not to scale.
The British had giant paratroopers back in the day.
It does look to be a better paint job on those than the Tamiya models.
Yeah.
So it's that, and a set of decals as well. So no arguing about how wavy your invasion stripes need to be.
Don't forget, if you do get one of these and you are painting it, keep in mind there won't be a lot of chipping going on. They were made of wooden canvas and that.
Yeah,
and you can have weathering effects on these.
Yeah, and they were only sort of towed across the channel, let go, and that was it. What a one-use vehicle. So
they had to go and land in between Rommel's asparagus. Was it Rommel's asparagus they called it, or the little poles? I think it was Rommel's asparagus, wasn't it? They called it.
I can't remember. Anyway,
so that had all the telegraph poles stuck in to stop gliders landing.
So as it was D-Day and invasion stripes, people can argue about how straight invasion stripes should be.
Those ones on the right are a bit curvy.
They're a bit wavy, aren't they? No.
Yep. Lord Barkley says they were not perfect lines as they were hand painted, and they certainly were.
Painted with mops and brushes and anything they can find. But so there we go. So that's the Italeri 1/76 AS 51 horse and Mark 1. Yeah. Was there a Mark 2, or did they not bother after Mark 1?
Yeah, they may not have got that far.
There probably wasn't a Mark 2 because they didn't need them. Moving on anyway. The Italeri, once again, another Italeri kit, the Chevy gun tractor.
Oh, I thought you might do. I thought you might put this in here, Ted.
Yeah,
you've got a soft spot for these old stubby Chevys, haven't you?
The nice little gun tractors, utility trucks. This one is depicted as a gun tractor. They use them for all sorts, towing tanks, towing guns, just towing troops, pulling stuff out, pushing stuff in. You'll have seen, if you ever watch footage from D-Day, you'll have seen, bound to have seen these sort of things.
They're sort of funky chunky, aren't they?
They look like a sort of Tonka toy.
Yeah.
And they also have an exceptional potential for Warhammerage.
Yeah, there is really.
You could Warhammer that up quite nicely. It's about the right scale, sort of. You could fudge it a bit.
Yeah. And what I have to say about these type of vehicles as well is that after the war, a lot of them went into civilian service, sort of general sort of logging trucks and things like that. So there's a multitude of things you could do with them. This one here is actually shown in the Mickey Mouse camouflage scheme, I believe. That's what it's called, because it's got rounded Mickey Mouse ears on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
One of the easiest camouflage schemes to paint.
Yeah. So that's that one. £23.85 for a 135 Chevy gun tractor, which actually will make into quite a nice large model. So and endless options for dioramas as well, with some of the troops and things. Finally, I'm sure you've all guessed what the theme is this week, but this is the Revell 172nd anniversary D-Day set. It looks like it's got. Let's have a look at some of the pictures down here. There's the box art. So a Sherman meets a Panzer on the bridge while being bombed by a Spitfire. Is that a Spitfire? Yeah. So
I can't tell.
Yeah.
There we go.
So yeah, it looks like you get 4 kits in this, and probably a base. I'm thinking a base as well.
Although that shows a Mustang, not a Spitfire, on the photograph.
Ah, right.
That's weird. Do you get? I wonder if you get options, maybe.
Yeah. So yeah, that's well, there's three pictures in the box to make your mind up. But yeah, it looks like there's a lot in the box there. 75 years ago, etc. Read all about it on there. The battle on the ground is being fought by a Panzer IV, version H, and a M4A1 Sherman. It's a P51D Mustang and a Messerschmitt 109. There we go.
Awesome.
There we are. It looks like they're firing laser guns, lasers down.
No, that's the teleporty thing. That's for
that's the thing they suck up the cows with, isn't it? It's the cow sucking force field gun.
The death ray, the Mustang death ray.
Yeah. I can hear the cheesy 50s sci-fi sound effects in my mind right now.
I would probably think that you could have hours of fun building this and making all the noises.
Oh yeah. The good thing with these is you can do a lot of improvements on that diorama, but it's a great starting point to do your own diorama. You've obviously got all the shapes there.
Yep.
So you can add your own textures and plants and trees and stuff without having to build the base for a diorama. You'd have to get all the bits of Oasis foam out on your wooden board. You can use that as a good base for your diorama there.
And you can put your 172 figures on it as well and have a whale of a time.
Jolly good fun with that.
Jolly good fun.
Jolly good fun.
That's it. Well, I'll have a quick run back through them all if I can remember how to do that. We've got the Golden Hind, Vintage Classic. We've got the Master Box US Rangers, Normandy 44. We have the Tamiya 135 motorcycle. The cat is.
Cat. We need to see Cat on camera when you come back, Ted. Don't be throwing it out.
The small motorcycles from Tamiya. We've got the Airfix Tomahawk, the Curtis Tomahawk.
Is that the noise of one of the Tomahawks going past?
The Teleri Invasion Stripes, not the Teleri Horseback one with British paratroops. There's lots of figures. Lots of figures feature in this week's What's in Store. I wish I shot the cat.
Right, copy, isn't that cat? You'll watch it on camera when you come back there, Ted.
Yeah, I'll be gone. I'll be kicking the cow. The Chevy gun tractor. I'm rushing through this because I'm going to kill that cat. And finally is the D-Day Death Ray Anniversary D-Day set. Right, finish. What's in store? Stop sharing. Now I've got to find a way back.
Don't forget to unlock it off you as well.
I haven't looked it off. No, I haven't unlocked. I haven't looked. It won't unlock off me now. Right, it's unlocked off me. Oh gosh, right.
Let's see the cat, Ted.
Are you going to tell them it's ready or
Yeah,
not?
before I go, it's go. What's the link?
Well, you best stay to make sure we get it right, because I don't know. You know, we might get it wrong.
Show us modelling G-Cats and Spider Key. Matt Bradford said is right with D-Day. Yeah. So
There we
the
go.
thing, yeah, it had to be.
Go and grab the cat, Ted. I'll do the spiel if
Yeah.
you want.
Till the rest.
Who won again? It was Matt Bradford.
Matt Bradford.
You've won yourself a big fat sticker. So all you need to do while Ted is wrangling a cat, is just send an email to ted@emodels.co.uk. Put big sticker in the title to make life easy for Ted, and we will send you a big sticker.
He's come back without a cat.
You come
Come
back
back
with
with that cat. Yeah, so I got to the door. The wife had opened the door and let the cat escape. So yeah, it's gone. Yeah.
escape being the right word.
Right. Yeah. So that was it.
Now I've just got visions of like of Messerschmitts and Tomahawks sucking up cows with tractor beams.
Going past, going meow.
Somebody did specify the difference between the Mustangs and the Spitfires. Just to clarify, we do know the difference between a Spitfire and a Mustang. We just couldn't tell because the box art looked like a Spitfire, but the model shot showed a Mustang, so we didn't know which one you got.
Yeah, and I'm not an expert. I can't recognise aircraft.
Yeah, the picture on the box was a bit. Is that what? Because you couldn't quite see the wings, but we do know the difference. But yeah,
Michael Jackman does say, "Don't know why there's a 109 there. There were none on the day, according to our fighter pilots."
Mm.
Oh, there was big controversy, wasn't there, with the fighter pilot saying there were no 109s around, but people on the ground were like, "Yeah, there were."
Yeah. Anders Ericsson says, "How did the Golden Hind fit in?" And Frogspawn answers him, "Gold Beach." Yeah.
Oh yeah, good point.
Yeah. And wonder why the Tomahawk was there. To Omaha Beach. Omaha.
Oh, yeah, it works. I've got it.
You're definitely stretching it. I like it.
I had to spell it out.
Yeah, well, if Chris could do it, I could do it as well.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm very happy with that.
I need to correct myself before somebody in chat does. The controversy on D-Day was that the people on the ground said there was no air support from the RAF, whereas the RAF said there was air support.
Yeah, there was, because the air fight was done further inland, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Apparently, recent research has showed there was actually a ton of air support. It's just that the troops that said there wasn't any didn't see it.
Mm-hmm.
They were probably busy looking at other things on the ground rather than,
Yes, and Screw Glue says meow.
Yeah. So yeah,
Grumman Wildcat.
so your turn next week then, Fox.
I've not got a cat.
No, not with a cat, with the store.
I don't have any kind of animal.
We expect lots of very difficult, hard to guess.
Okay. What we do as a theme next week then?
oh well,
What's happening next week that I can make into a theme?
that's for you to decide. You'll have
You've got a week to do homework.
you'll have to
Homework? Oh,
you'll have to watch the news between now and next week and find
what's the news? Oh,
And-
no.
You can't even use the excuse that the cat ate your homework, because you just said you haven't got a cat.
People are making cat noises in chat now. And we still Ted, where's Model Making Chicken?
Model Making Chicken is still addicted to cat food, and she's taken now. We have a stack of patio furniture outside. We've got the chairs stacked up. She's now taken to hiding under the chairs for when the door opens, and she darts out
Excellent.
straight between your legs into the house to get to the cat food.
I think the viewers are still waiting for you to bring Model Making Chicken in one week, though, Ted.
Yeah, maybe I'll have to do a short video, because Model Making Chicken, she's gone to bed by the time we start our live stream. So I'll have to make a little video. Can you put videos on Hangouts? I'm not sure.
You can share a video, share your screen with a video playing.
Oh, well, I could try that then.
It might explode your PC if it's not particularly powerful. It might break
That'll be
things.
fine.
You're asking Ted to do complicated technical things, Chris.
Well, just play a video in the background and
What
click on
could
that.
possibly go wrong?
Yeah, maybe I'll take a picture and share a picture with of Model Making Chicken. And
We can arrange it a week when Ted's not hosting the show.
Yeah. Talking of pictures, very quickly, just for no reason whatsoever, I would like to show the audience what is growing in my garden pond.
Okay.
Not some of them might have seen it today, but I shared it.
We won't see the pond though, will we?
No. Would you look it on me just for a brief second, Ted?
I'll look it on you for just a brief second.
I want to show them because not everybody will have seen this. I shall screen share. Where is
Got
it?
Ted Gurney. Oh no. Right.
There. We have a skunk cabbage and it's got massive.
Oh,
And I shared it on Facebook and stuff earlier on today, but for anybody who didn't see it, I just thought I'd show you my skunk cabbage, which is massive.
does it smell like a skunk then?
It's supposed to, but it never has. It's never
Not,
actually
not that I know what a skunk smells like.
No, but it's called a skunk cabbage because it's supposed to give off a noxious smell, but it never has.
Warren Chambers says model making chicken. Okay, I'm lost. Yeah,
Take it off me.
Ted's got chicken.
Yeah, you've got to watch some of the videos to see model making chicken.
Yeah.
Just mention a few of them.
Yes. Can you unlock it off me, please, Ted?
Oh, well, there you are. It's not locked on anybody.
Mark Scope says get the cat its own channel.
Yeah.
Ashley Sparrowhawk says, Foxx, what is the random fact? We've done it. Confused everybody because we did it in 1977 on this day. Apple Corporation released the Apple II.
Yeah, I missed that bit because that was when I went away.
Ah,
I came back and heard people talking about apples. So I thought
well, it's because we did it right at the start of the show and it broke everybody, I think, because they're expecting it halfway through. So
Mark Scope says the cat's trying to take over the show Goody style. I remember that.
right, cat.
For no reason at all, you need to make a scale model of the British what is it? The
GPO Tower.
Yeah,
Go to the Parliament. Yeah.
I've missed it now, says Ashley Sparrowhawk. On this day in 1977, Apple Company released the Apple II. There you go.
Is that the Apple as well as something else, or was it number 2?
See what you did there. I'll put a slap in the mail for you.
Oh.
Philip Book says, chaps, got to go. Night, early shift. Love to all. Thanks for coming in,
Good
buddy.
night, Philip.
Take care.
Michael Jackman agrees with me and says it looks like a Driffid.
Paul Horner says, model making chicken, inventor of egg kits.
Oh, see what he did there.
Oh.
Yeah, we like that.
Quite famous. Yeah, all the kids. We live across the road from a school, and all the kids come past, and they always stick their head over the gate to have a look at model making chicken.
Wait, is model making chicken hanging around in your front garden?
Yeah, she plays to the front. Often find the school will actually phone us up and say your chicken's in our playground again.
Can you come and get your chicken back, please?
Yeah, so yeah, she does escape. She jumps off the edge.
How come it's in the front garden, not the back garden, or is it just she goes where she wants and you have no choice?
Well, the layout of our house, we have a huge patio. We're at an end of terrace, and we have a huge patio along the edge of the end of the house, and she lives on the patio. Jumps up and sits in a hedge, and then often jumps down the other side, and then escapes to see the kids across the road at the school. So she's famous. The kids love her.
Should we give away some other stuff?
Oh yeah, we've got some other stuff to give away, haven't we? Where are we up to?
Just very, very quickly. There was a question from somebody, which is really not helpful. Gary Oak 100 says, anyone know where I can get some cheap 1/48 scale pilots? I shall put a link in the chat. I just did a search on eModels website for 1/48 scale pilots. There you go.
Can you do links in chat? Oh, you can.
There you go. There's a link in the chat. I'm model making guru in the chat, but yes, there's a link for you. That's a search on the eModels website for 1/48 scale pilots. Have at it. There's quite a few kits in there. Yep, there's a number of them. So have at it. Slap it in your basket.
Slap it in your basket. Slap yours and check it out. Can I say that again? A huge patio.
I'm just going to refresh, guys, because I'm getting feedback on my microphone. Hang on.
He's disappeared.
He's gone.
That was just an excuse, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think he's gone for something else again.
Yeah.
Do you reckon? When he comes back, we'd be not talking about it.
Yeah.
I'm here now. What are you talking about? What are you going to get me for my birthday? Oh.
Nothing. No, nothing.
Not Adora. Not Adora.
Not Adora, no.
Is the
right.
Dora still in stock? I meant to ask, by the way.
Yeah, it is still in stock. I saw it when I was searching. For some reason, when I searched D-Day, it popped up. Now, what the connection's got to do with D-Day? I have no idea.
Starts with a D.
Yeah.
Ashley Sparrowhawk has a question for you, Fox. He says, how old is your skunk cabbage?
How old is my skunk cabbage? I'm posting a link for Dora in the chat for people because everybody wants to buy it. If you just do have a look at that link, if you need to buy that, you should do.
Yeah.
How old is the skunk cabbage? It's probably more than like 15 or 20 years old. It's been there forever.
Do you cut a leaf in half and count the rings or something, or how do you age a skunk cabbage?
Because it was that we put it in when we put the pond in, which is actually probably more like 30 years actually. Probably like 25 years old, that thing. It just grows this massive size and then just disappears in the winter and then comes back again every year. Takes over the pond. We have to refill the pond like in the summer every week because it just.
No.
But there's also like a bajillion frogs in there as well, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of things going on in that pond.
A real wildlife here in a your garden, is it? Or wasps, hedgehogs?
No, not wasps. No.
Bees?
It's civilized at this end where the house is, and then right at the end we just kind of leave it. There's a bit where there used to be a shed. Now there's a large pile of what used to be a shed, and we leave that bit just to grow wild. So there's bushes and stuff. But we've got like all bushes and plants and things because we like the wildlife. So we've got the bees and the squirrels and the wood pigeons, which are the dumbest things in the world. We have all the little birdies.
And no hedgehogs anymore.
Not that we've seen any this year. We got Mama Fox, her first ever purchase on Amazon. She bought 600 tea bags and a hedgehog house. And then the hedgehog obviously found somewhere else to live by the time we got the hedgehog house. Nobody's moved into it now. We put some straw and stuff in it a year ago and I opened it the other day and it's still perfectly fresh in this hedgehog house after a year. But there's many spiders, obviously.
So you can sup tea forever while you're waiting for a hedgehog to turn up.
Yeah. We've got many teas. Ashley Sparrowhawk says it should flower about June or July then and then smell. It's never smelled. It never actually gets a flower on it. It gets the little sort of big banana shaped thing and then it never actually flowers. Or if it does, not big flowers. But it's
Are
never
you sure it's
smelled.
skunk cabbage, not a banana plant?
No, we know it's a skunk cabbage.
Are sure it's not just a weed?
No, it's a very big weed. Well, the interesting thing is, though, we've had it for about 25 or 30 years, that it's actually illegal to have a skunk cabbage now. Unless you already had one. I think for the last 10, 15 years, it became illegal because it's a parasitic. It's not parasitic, but it's an invasive species. So it's illegal the same way that kudzu and Japanese knotweed is illegal. You can't plant it in your garden. But the thing was, if there was already one in your garden and it's not near anything, like if it's a little garden pond, it's fine. It's not going to get anywhere and escape. So apparently it's quite an invasive species. It hasn't invaded anything apart from its pond. So
I got a little bit worried then. Sprue Glue said, I didn't know hedgehogs like tea, and he put a little picture of a cup of tea. I thought it was my wife's demanding tea.
Which reminds us, your good lady has sent us a question in tonight.
I did notice that, yes.
Yeah, perhaps we should read. Well, we will use that question for the next giveaway, which brings us nicely onto the
giveaways.
To the giveaway.
Just very quickly before you do, Phil East makes me feel better. He says we've got 6 hedgehogs in the garden and 2 empty houses for them. Yeah, they clearly like piles of leaves more than actual houses with central heating and a roof and everything. And we put food out for them, but they just get eaten by next door's cat, which is very fat now.
Have you not seen next door's cat playing football with a rolled up hedgehog?
Right. Yes. So we started putting hedgehog food out, and the cat next door got fat. So we stopped putting hedgehog food out.
Paul Horner says you need to put a to let sign outside the hedgehog house. Yeah, you need to.
Vacancies.
Yeah, you need to advertise it a bit more in the Hedgehog Times or something.
Put a little sign saying "Lady Hedgehogs XXX live."
To let free. Yeah, 1 month's free rent. Yeah, get moving in. Right, so we'll do a giveaway then.
We'll do a giveaway. What should we give away?
Should we give away a double sticker?
Double sticker.
Double sticker time.
Double sticker.
What's better than 1 eModel sticker? 2 eModel stickers.
2 eModel stickers, because we don't give them away separately anymore. We'll include 2 in your envelope.
Oh, look at that. Stefan Last has just come in before we give the stickers away. As has Matthew Birtles.
Yeah, it's not Carl by another name, is it?
It might be.
No. I haven't seen Carl for a while. Carl's been
Hoping if
in
you
a
are,
my stream the other day, but
well, if you are watching, Carl, hope you're well. Just join in the chat.
yeah. Not seen you for a while. Miss you, buddy.
Yeah. Right. Yep. So we'll do a double sticker giveaway. Win 2 stickers for the price of 1. And the question for tonight is provided by Gemma Williams, who will also be awarded a sticker for sending in a question.
Yes.
Yes. And right, here we go.
Well, Chris, what you have to do is take that sticker, put it in an envelope, and post it to Gemma.
Yeah.
I'll just write the name and draw a picture of a stamp on the back.
And just take it downstairs.
Yeah, she knows where she's going to stick it, by the way.
Apparently, I know where it's going to got to go. Apparently,
Yeah, family friendly now. Steady.
Yeah, right. Her question for tonight for the double sticker. Don't forget, quickly, you can refresh your browser. Just press
refresh. And drag. I was doing it the wrong way before. Refresh and drag.
Yeah. Right, here we go. Right, it says, hi all, a question for tonight. The first boat race between Oxford and Cambridge was on the 10th of June. So the first boat race was between Oxford and Cambridge on the 10th of June. What year was the first boat race? Go.
Go. Ashley Sparrowhawk sends us an address, sends an email with your name and address, and we'll send you some stickers. Because he says it's his birthday on Thursday. So happy birthday.
That was a shout out. We haven't got any shout outs. People haven't emailed in any shout outs recently, have they?
Yeah.
We have some dates coming in.
Hey, Anders Ericsson, 1829.
Yeah, congratulations. Not 1685 or 1885.
That was Rick 9000 says, I don't care.
Yeah.
Because he never wins anything.
1910, 1870, 1923, 1927, 1820, and yay. No, that was Ashley saying. Yeah.
So yes, Anders, well done. 1829.
I do know that. Yeah, I was just thinking you were in the pile for some stickers, because I do know that you're already on the pile for some stickers. So yeah, well done.
Yeah, well done. Pop us an email, ted@emodels.co.uk, and put down in the title of the mail, put double sticker.
Double sticker.
Double sticker winner.
Sticker.
If you can kind of type it in American movie announcer voice. Double sticker. He was a cop. Don't know why.
Bradley Recon Vaughan says, not fair. I live in the States. How would I know this question? Ask Siri.
Your Google Foo must be worked on, my child. Ashley Sparrowhawk says, do you have mine in the pile?
We do, actually. Yeah. It's in the pile.
Yeah. But yeah, drop us another email, Ashley, and we'll send you some more for your birthday.
Frog Spawn says, sorry, I had to go for a wee. What did I miss? Drag it backwards.
No, not yet. Because then you missed the next bit as well.
When we're giving away a mug.
Mug.
Time.
A mug.
It was a mug.
It was his last day of retirement.
Yeah, but don't forget though.
Your entire camera went dark there, Chris, because you blanked it out with the cup.
Get too close to the mug.
Yeah, you just get blanked out there. The cup's more important.
eModels.
Goes dark. All your lights dim when you move the cup. It's very clever.
Don't forget that if you don't win a mug or you don't take part in the mug question, you can get these from eModels at cost and free postage. So,
Don't forget, of course, as well, if you've got a mug already, you're more than welcome to have another mug. You can have as many mugs as you want, so you're more than welcome to enter. If though you've got a mug and you don't want another mug, don't answer the question. Just let everybody else have a go. So if you're more than welcome to have more, you can have 35 mugs if you get the answer right.
Mug mountain.
You can have a throne of mugs.
Yeah. If you get too many mugs, we'll be sending the winners to you, so you can send the mugs out.
Yeah, but if you don't want another one, don't answer the question. It just gets confusing when people say, "Can you give it to this person?" Just don't, and let somebody else win.
Well, and what we do with the mugs as well, we don't send the mugs out. We pass.
Ashley says, "What's the email?" You know what the email is, don't you? Everyone knows the email. It's
Everyone knows it, Ted.
Ted at eModels.co.uk.
And it's not actually Ted at eModels.
Yeah, we'll have to create an eModels address for that.
Yeah, Ted at eModels.co.uk.
Ted eModels.
Karaoke 100 says, when is the mug question? I think that's a nudge.
eModels
Being told off there.
Someone sent us a mug question because that
How
would
is
be
a
quite
mug
convenient.
question? Is a better question.
Yeah, we should get some engraved pint glasses, can't we? Well, not that we would encourage drinking alcohol, by the way.
What, you mean like a big glass that just says slap it in your basket? Ted, TED at eModels.co.
Yeah, only one that you couldn't afford the second D. So
I'll put it in chat.
Ted.
You can listen to the glory of my Model M keyboard. I've spelt it wrong. Ted at eModels.co. There you go.
Is Karaoke asking when is the mug question, or is he saying when is the mug question?
That's just like saying why is the mug question?
Yeah, but is that
It's very deep and thoughtful.
the question for the mug? Is it when?
When?
Yeah. The door is ajar. Think about that for a while.
Why?
The door is ajar. Whoa. Karaoke says you should have e-model patches. The gang at eModels do have plans and had plans for various different merch things, but I think there's lots of things going on at the minute. So trust me, they have been thinking about it.
Yeah, we hope that they do have some eModels merch. You would give us some better giveaways for you.
I think we're getting feedback from Foxx.
I'm getting feedback. Yeah, I'm getting
Because
feedback.
I can hear myself and I can hear Ted, but I can't hear Foxx repeated.
Let me discombobulate a bit. Is that better?
I don't know. We aren't talking then.
Weird.
Yes, that sounds better.
Okay.
Everybody keep quiet and see if there's any feedback.
You're rubbish. Not that kind of feedback.
No,
I'm still waiting for my eModels branded car, but it's not happening.
no, I want a jet.
I want a Range Rover, nice branded Range Rover. Thank you very much. By Range Rover, I mean obviously a supercar of some sort.
Would it have to be green?
Supercar. That was
Right.
a supercar. That was a retro TV show, wasn't it? Supercar.
Yeah, Finger Stuber Car Garber.
eModels commemorative plates. Yeah, we could each feature on a plate, couldn't we?
We'll have an exclusive partnership with Hallmark to make some There'll be beautiful watercolor portraits of all the eModel staff on these like plates.
You could have the Ted plate, the Foxx plate, the Pete plate, the Chris plate. Then you could have a combined plate of all the team.
Painting of Ted next to Princess Diana or something. They may be slightly repurposed from old stock. Just saying.
Yeah.
It's Chris and the Queen.
Yeah, I think I'll go and take a picture of a plate with an eModels sticker on it and send it to Pete. So
Yeah, but they were looking into lots of different things like branded tools and things like cutting mats and stuff like that a while ago. But obviously, there's a lot of things going on at the minute. So
Rugloo says eModels checkbook and pen.
Checkbook and pen. Super match game.
Here's what you could have won.
Were we giving the mug away about half an hour ago?
Are we not giving away yet?
No, we're not even done that yet.
No, I was hoping that somebody was going to send us another question, but they haven't.
Oh, yeah, we haven't had another question, have we? Oh, have I got to make a question up?
Yeah. Make a question up, folks.
I could do the old number on the back of my hand if I'm desperate. Okay, let's have a think. Let's have a think.
Desperate. What
Okay, here we go. I've got a question. Right. D-Day. Now, I don't need to know the person's name, but there were a number of practical yet bizarre tanks designed for D-Day. What was their nickname? Go.
Fred.
I don't need to know the guy's name because I can't remember the guy's name. I think I know what it was.
I know.
Nickname. They were called something.
I remember
What
it
were they
now.
called?
Okay, I don't know this one, so I'll be interested to find out.
Doodle. Frog Spawn says funnies. Yes, I think they were Hobart's funnies, but I'm not sure on the name. But they were called funnies.
All right.
Yep, there were things like the thresher that had the chains that spun around to get rid of mines and things like that, and the ones that was the DD, the Donald Duck. It had the big canvas thing so it could go float on the water.
Ah.
So well done, Frog Spawn. I was about to write a number on my hand, I didn't need to. Well done, Frog Spawn. They were called funnies.
It takes a week. When you write it up with a Sharpie, it just takes a week to rub off.
Yeah. I actually found a Sharpie mark on my shin the other day, and I've got no idea why. So yes, Frogspawn, send an email to ted@emodels.co.uk and just say "won a mug" in the title. We will forward that on to the chaps and chapesses at eModels, and they will forthwith post to you in the post a cup of happiness.
But it'll be an empty cup, but you can put your own happiness in it later.
Yeah, it won't contain coffee or other drink.
Jeremy Bourne says it's Duplex Drive, not Donald Duck.
Oh, I don't know why I said Donald Duck. I don't know. I must have misread something somewhere.
It's an animal themed program tonight with ducks.
I'm just.
It's because it's DD, and you obviously saw that somewhere.
It's impressive enough that I remember there were Hobart's funnies. But
that was quite impressive. Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, there you go. So don't forget though, we don't send these out. The guys at eModels do. If it takes a while, don't panic. It may just be they're actually out of stock, and it takes them a while to get more. So if you have won one, because we don't know if they've got it in stock or not, we just assume and give them out willy nilly because we throw caution to the wind.
They don't tell us to stop,
and they probably hate us for doing it.
I think one time we actually started giving them out and we didn't tell anybody.
Yeah. Well, there's one time when I think James mate said to us, "We haven't got it left in stock," and we're like, "Brilliant, we'll still give them out." They just keep your request to one side so they know that when they get them back in, we expect one day that they'll get a new delivery of new stock and it'll all go out instantly on people that have won them.
Right. We're about time to wrap up this evening, really. 10 minutes to go. So, yeah, we've got 10 minutes to fill if you want any questions asked. Or
there was a question earlier while you were doing your What's in Store. I can't remember who it was, but they asked you how the U-boat was coming along.
It is.
Yeah, that's what we assumed. Yeah.
Very well. IQ is the best answer for anything.
Yeah, I refer the answer to my learned friend.
Yeah. It's well known as Professor Stephen Hawking was getting a guided tour of the Star Trek Next Generation set, and in the engine room, he looked at. There's two things. First of all, I think he was there twice. First of all, he said to one of the designers, Michael Okuda, he said, "How does it work?" And Michael Okuda said, "Very well, thank you." And then he turned to one of the producers and said, "I'm working on that." It's very somebody asks you a question you can't answer, just say, "Very well, thank you."
What was it? It just takes me back to a scene from, was it Airplane, where the guy was, what do you think it is? I don't know, but these lights keep going backwards and forwards. Something like that.
We need to go to the hospital. What is it? It's a building full of sick people. That's not important right now.
Oh, I miss those days.
Stuart Hislop said, "Do you all buy?" No, I never go to the bar.
I
think that may have been half a comment.
Yeah, well, wait for the next bit. The unfortunate part about it is that the chat usually appears about 20 seconds after we've mentioned something in a comment, and by that time we've moved on to something else. So we've got to think back.
And it's been 20 seconds since we said it, so we've probably forgotten it.
This is the thing, because most people will know in the chat will know that me and Chris do our own live streams on our own channels, and that's the worst thing is when you say something and then like a minute later somebody responds to it in the chat, but when you're on your own doing a live stream you don't actually listen to anything you say because you're just going for 2 hours. You're on a sort of, it's weird, you're on vapors and fumes and sugar high from all the fudge you ate, usually in my case, but you don't listen to yourself, so you'll be like, Bob Smith in the chat says, "Yes, exactly, you're totally right." What did I say? I've forgotten now.
Got the second part from the question. Stuart Hislop, sorry, I meant to ask, do we build dioramas? Yeah,
I've done a couple.
I've built one. Very rarely. I'd like to build more than I do build. But by the time, sometimes I build a model with the great intention of putting it in a diorama, building a diorama to go around it, and I think, yeah, brilliant. When I've done this model, I'll start on that and I'll do that. And then the model gets built, and I think, whoa, next model. Yeah,
yeah, you got to the point of being bored of it. Then I just can't.
Yeah, I can't follow it anymore. Yeah.
I've not done many. The problem I have with dioramas is that I know in my mind, in my tiny dinosaur brain, that dioramas are actually not that hard. As in, they're not technically complicated, and they're quite good. It's just playtime with messy stuff. They're not that complicated. But I always overthink it, and I have panic attacks. I'm like, oh, how am I? Oh, with the trick and I always overthink it and end up not doing it. I have done a few on the eModels channel. There's the Imperial Skitter build, which is the AML, the Tacom AML 90, and there's the Knackered Old Transit build, which I did as well, which also has a very basic and simple diorama. Literally, it's as simple as a diorama can get. It's a bit of card and some turf and a few sprinkles. So go and check those out if you're looking for inspiration or for ideas.
Well, that's on that subject. That's what these guys are for here. These guys are part of a diorama to go with my Matador truck. So, and they're still there.
Yeah,
I'd almost forgotten the Zaku that I did for eModels has a sort of diorama. It's just a small base that it sits on top of that I did all muddy and everything. So again, it doesn't need to be big or detailed or anything. It just adds a little level of something to the model.
I mean, you can see amazing dioramas where they've spent. I saw one. I can't remember who it was. It was basically a diorama of the Ardennes. I think it was the Ardennes, and it had a load of American soldiers in the trees, and there was like a muddy track and a road and some puddles and stuff, and tank tracks and car tracks, and it was like a light dusting of snow, and the trees are all there, and they're in the forest. Oh no, it was Bastogne. Sorry, not Ardennes. It was Bastogne, and it was incredible, and the guy spent weeks and weeks doing it. But the thing is, you can do that, but you can just have fun and use a bit of Oasis foam and some. When I did the diorama for the Tacom AML 90, it was literally some Oasis gardening, like flower arranging foam. I used actual soil from the garden mixed in with white PVA glue. I used twigs for a tree and some bits and bobs and a few other like specific diorama products, but. Yeah, you can just have fun and keep it nice and simple, because sometimes you want to make sure the diorama doesn't distract from the actual model.
Yeah. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink your diorama. The diorama is just there to enhance the model.
Yeah. Vincent says, Foxx, Bastogne is a town in the Ardennes, so yeah. I know. It was a specific one. Everybody's saying Bastogne is in the Ardennes. I know. Moving on. I can tell Spitfire. I know.
David Wright says, I fancy some crumpets.
I always fancy crumpets. There's never a time when you shouldn't be wanting crumpets.
This is a family show.
Not that kind of crumpet, Ted. Nice buttered crumpets.
Oh, right.
I want crumpets now.
Oh, I didn't know there was a separate type.
I want crumpets, and I've had chili dogs, so I shouldn't even want crumpets.
Next week, Foxx will be twice as big.
Oh, yes. All paid for.
That's when you start to know that you're getting fat. Yeah, it's all paid for.
Yeah, the pitch goes down. The pitch goes lower.
Yeah, we talking about biscuits and stuff in the chat. I'm not sure.
Somebody mentioned fig rolls, and I tried to stop reading at that point. But yeah, it's dioramas can be. You can have a lot of fun just doing really, really simple stuff. You can spend months and months being really careful and getting amazing things, but you don't have to. It depends if you want the model to be the focus and the diorama is just a nice backdrop, or if you want the diorama and the model to be just as important as each other, and one not to detract from the other. But that's when you can spend weeks and weeks doing amazing dioramas. If you want the model to be the focus, you need to make sure the diorama is interesting but doesn't overpower. If you've got like a model aircraft, that's why a lot of aircraft kits they're put on very simple either tarmac or grass or duckboard settings, not too complicated, because the focus is the aircraft, especially like 1/72 scale and some of the bigger scale aircraft, the little tiny ones. You don't want a big forest scene or a big whatever, and then this
1/72 isn't tiny. No, they're big.
1/72 might be, but you don't want a diorama this big with trees and farmhouses and.
No, but you said they were big. They're not tiny.
No, they're big scale.
144 a proper tiny scale. That's the correct scale.
Big scale, small model.
Yeah, 144 is the correct scale.
That's a small scale. That's a big scale. That's a big scale. Shut up. So yeah, it depends what you want to do. If you want the model to be the focus, one of my old bosses used to say, "Kiss, keep it simple, stupid." That's rubbish to have in your life. Just keep it simple.
Did he actually mean it like that, or was he just offering?
No, he meant it like that because he used to call me stupid all the time. But yeah, have a look at things like my transit diorama. That uses some of those coastal diorama boards, which are brilliant. out of scale. They're brilliant stuff. And Chris's, what did you do, Chris? The Muddy Zaku thing that Chris did. Dead
Yeah,
simple.
exactly too.
Yeah, not complicated at all. Not complex. And
It has to be for us to do them because
I used actual honest to goodness soil from the garden for mine. It was brilliant. I had to put it in the oven and it smelled fantastic.
You said it smelled like bread or something, or I can't.
Yeah. If you've ever had the joy of waking up in the morning to the smell of baking bread, if you go and get a load of soil from your garden and put it in the oven for an hour at 180 degrees to kill all the bacteria and things living in it, it smells like that, but 10 times better. It's fantastic. It's a brilliant smell.
It doesn't taste as good though.
Jamie Bowen says, Fox, what's the biggest size of base to put Citadel texture paint on? Whatever you want. If it's an actual base from the kit, I think the biggest ones are the Imperial Knight ones, which are about that big ovals. I think that's the biggest one they do. They do some square ones that might be a little bit bigger for very large units.
I mean, the texture paint's the one that changes texture as it dries or whatever, isn't it? But it wouldn't make any difference how big it is.
No, it doesn't really matter.
It just uses more paint.
Yeah, you can put them on any size base you want. You could use it in a proper diorama if you wanted to, with a real model, if it was the right scale for the texture.
Right.
Andrew Preston says Matchbox used to do dioramas with their kits. They were great in the 70s. Was that just like the cardboard backdrop sort of thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, I remember them. Used to have just a plastic base and things like that.
I think that's what that Revell thing was. It was like a single molded shape. That's what I was saying. You could paint it up and put your own textures and things on it, and plants and trees. It just works as a good base. Jamie says it's a wooden foot-by-foot square base. Yeah, it'd be fine. As long as the texture paint you're using has a texture that's to scale with the figure. Like if I was using, say, Astro Granite, which is like a rough, concretey, granity texture, that would look a bit weird with a 1/44 scale figure because it'd be like big bobbly bits. But it would work fine for, say, 1/35th or 1/48th, or like the Grellan Earth sort of mud textures, or the Broken Earth, the Dry Earth, the Grellan Badlands, things like that. They'd probably be good for like 1/35th, 1/48th, or bigger, really, like 1/24th maybe. It'd be fine.
Anyway, folks, it's turned 11 o'clock again, the witching hour.
Yes.
Time to call it a night.
It's a night.
It's a night.
I'm fired.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, it's because some of us are old men. It's time that the nurse is coming around now, and time to put us to bed.
Nurse the screens.
Sure. Right. Yeah.
Mister.
It's time to leave us all. Thank you very much for your presence and joining us this evening, and I hope we can do it all again next week. But in the meantime, go and have a look at the new eModels web page and have a look around it, explore and find things. Don't forget, it is Father's Day on Friday. No, it's not on Friday, but it's on Sunday. Father's Day on Sunday, so you come up with some ideas and hints for things for people to get you for Father's Day, if you're a father. Right. But in the meantime, thank you very much for joining us. We'll say goodbye and good night, and see you next week. Bye, folks.
Yes, me, Bez.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.